presentation will be in English. Nomás les queríamos decir buenos días. Habla la directora Magdalena Strickland. La presentación para español va a ser hoy a las 11:30. Esta presentación va a ser en inglés. La presentación para español va a ser hoy a las 11:30. Ojalá que estén con nosotros a las 11:30 en español. Gracias. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started, everyone. Again, thank you for joining us. Okay, Ms. Vicente? Every time we have meetings, we always start with some norms. And so I'm going to ask that you please respect the virtual setting. And what does that mean? That we have our microphones muted until you are called on. Please mind our airtime. And then we have some things that you can use in order to ask questions. We have our chat bar. Feel free to ask any questions on that. Also, we have, there's also a little icon that you can add a reaction to, or you can raise your hand. We will be having a question and answer session at the end. So if you have any questions, please, this is the time. We are here to answer as many questions as we can. There will be a question and answer session at the end. Okay, thank you. So the agenda, this is pretty much what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to go over the norms. We're going to be sharing some information, also looking at when school starts, if it starts and when. What are the options for me as a parent? What can I choose, either in person or virtual? Also, we're going to be talking about the model that HISD has. It's called an asynchronous model. We're going to talk about assessments, grading, attendance. We're going to talk about dress code, also some meals, and any types of parent supports. And then finally, like I said earlier, we are going to have a question and answer session. So before we get started, we do have some frequently asked questions that people will say, well, Ms. Strickland, I have something specific to my family, or I have something specific to my child. How can I reach out to you? Here are some frequently contacted personnel. That is my email, mstrickle@houstonisd.org. We also have our assistant principal, Mrs. Vicente. You are more than welcome to also email her. If you are interested in the registration piece and making sure that everything, all the paperwork is done, either virtually or face-to-face, we do have Miss Medina, Amanda Medina, who is our register, and that's her email. And then finally, we also have Ms. Barrera. She is our Communities in Schools counselor, and her email is there. You're also more than welcome to reach out to her. Next slide. There it is. Okay. The next slide, please. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. Thank you so much for being patient with us. Sometimes these our PowerPoints tend to go a little slower, but it will come right back. Give us just one little minute.
Okay, I'm on slide 5, Ms. Strickland. Can you see it now?
I do not. We see slide 4.
I'm on
but
slide
if you see this, okay, you're welcome to. Do you want to keep going?
I'm going to unshare and reshare.
Okay, great.
Give me a second. Can you see that?
It is coming on. I see a black screen. There it is. Perfect. Thank you, Ms. Vicente. Sure. So here are some timelines for reopening. So when is the first day of school? As you all probably already know, you've heard in the news, HISD is going to start our school year virtually, and our first day of school is September 8th. And then we're hoping that it really, really depends on the COVID-19 pandemic of us wanting to go face to face for now. And please, please, please know this is all fluid, which means that depending on the pandemic, for now, we're hoping to be face to face instruction on October 19th. And then I will be sharing with you the options that parents have if I choose to have my child at home and continue instruction virtually. September 8th through January 29th will be the first semester of remote learning if you so choose to. On the bottom of this slide, it says parents will have the option to choose remote instruction for the fall semester through January 29th, or if I am a parent and I said, you know, my child maybe has asthma problems, or I just don't feel comfortable, I want my child to have virtual instruction the entire year, you are more than welcome to choose that option. Next slide.
Yes, give me a second. Can you see that?
Timeline for reopening?
No. Hold on.
There we go, perfect. So parent choice options. So as a parent, I get to choose if I want my child to go on campus learning or virtual learning. And starting August 24th, parents are going to be receiving a phone call from the district, and they're going to be asking if you choose to have your child continue participating virtually or continue participating face-to-face. And then after each 6 weeks, because we will be on a 6 weeks grading period, after each 6 weeks, a parent has an option to be able to change their selection.
Can you see that, Ms. Strickland?
Next slide.
Okay, I'm on the next one. You can't see it?
There it is, on-campus learning. So, yeah, we're on campus learning. There you go. So when face-to-face begins, there are a couple of things due to this pandemic that we're facing that we're going to have to do mandatorily, and that is to screen our children daily every time that they come into, and not only children, but anyone that comes into our building, that they will have to be screened. Their temperature has to be taken. They are going to be required to have a mask. And then there's other little practices of adhering to the hand wash routinely and to maintain physical distancing. Is it going to the next one, Ms. Vicente? There might be a
sure.
Urgent.
Do you see general safety?
I believe it. No, ma'am, but you're welcome to continue. Mine hasn't showed up.
It's on, I see the screen. I'm not sure. Okay, it's slow.
Go ahead. You're more than welcome to share. There it is. Okay. So as I stated earlier, HISD is making sure not only students, but employees, visitors, vendors, anybody, that they have to be able to follow the procedures of making sure that we're all wearing masks and we're all practicing social distancing. Now, a couple of things, just FYI for you as parents to know, that it is mandatory for our nurses, our custodians, our food services workers, and any staff, special ed staff, that they have to be wearing gloves. Also, schools will establish some kind of staggering or non-contact pickup drop-off, requiring our students to get in and out of cars independently and preventing parents from walking students into the building. And I did want to talk a little bit about this one because at Landtrip in the mornings, we tend to have our personnel that are standing outside opening doors for our little ones, but we will not be able to do that due to the social distancing. So students will be able to come in and out of the vehicles independently. A couple of other general safety protocols. Let's see. Non-essential visitors, including those registered through HISD VIPS. Well, like for example, if someone says, I come and read to the classroom, that all that is going to have to be virtual. Lunch visits are prohibited when we go face-to-face. And non-essential deliveries such as food drop off. Oh, well, you know, it's someone's birthday, so I wanted to drop off something, a burger from McDonald's or whatever it may be. Homework, musical instruments, all that dropping off, non-essential deliveries are prohibited. Student movement within the school will be minimized as much as possible to reduce any contact.
It takes a few minutes, Ms.
The next slide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's there.
Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, there's a little delay in our slides.
Can you see it yet?
If you see it, no, but if you see it, Ms. Vicente, you're more than welcome to share.
Sure. It's management information. Curbside meals will continue to be available for students enrolled in virtual learning. Do you see it now or not yet?
No, keep going. You're okay.
Nutrition services will be provided individually wrapped breakfast and lunch in the classroom to all students enrolled in in-person learning. Students' assemblies, outdoor activities, field lessons will be postponed or held virtually until it is deemed safe for them to resume in person. And because of physical distancing, this drastically reduces bus capacity. Only special education and homeless students will be transported when in-person instruction resumes. And there is more details on page 20.
Mm-hmm.
So virtual learning begins on September 8th, 2020. That's when instruction will begin for students. Attendance matters, guys. Grades will matter. And final exams matter. You still can't see any of it, Ms. Strickland?
I see the virtual learning, the last slide that you just finished sharing.
Okay, I'm going to try to reshare again.
Okay, thank you. I see the slide that says virtual learning. Attendance matters, grades matter, and any exams matter.
Is the next one coming up?
It's probably on the delay.
Yes.
Ms. Barrera, I can see
There we
the synchronous.
So,
Okay, the synchronous model is up?
yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. So a lot of parents, or actually a lot of individuals were saying, what is that asynchronous model? What does that mean? So there will be a time when we go into virtual instruction that the teacher will be able to meet with the students. In the spring, we were doing Zoom meetings or Teams meetings, and the teacher will be meeting with their team, with their class and their students first to give instruction. It'll be about 20 to 30 minutes. But then the students will be given an assignment on the hub. So asynchronous means that the student has the remainder of the day or any time during the day to submit that assignment. They will get their direct instruction from the teacher at a certain allotted time, but that the child has the opportunity to finish the assignments and turn them in at his time during the day, as long as they get submitted by a certain time period. And we'll share that with you. Okay, Ms. Vicente.
It's on technology.
So, okay, I don't see it yet, but I think I know what the next one is. So there's going to be two pieces, parents, that you will be hearing a lot from us. One is the hub. If your child has not talked about the hub yet, the hub is going to be where students are turning in homework, where they are given their assignments and submitting homework. And then the Teams is what you're on right now. So the Microsoft Teams is what is the tool that HISD uses for us to have meetings. So for example, if I'm a mom or a dad, a parent, a guardian, and I want to have a meeting with the counselor because my child is having difficulty in something personal, you will be able to have a meeting with the counselor and the principal or whoever you'd like and the teacher, but they have to be through the tool called Microsoft Teams, the one that we're on right now. So as we right now, due to this COVID pandemic, we are having to use Microsoft Teams for every and all meeting because that way we're practicing safety and that physical distancing. Okay, Ms. Vicente?
Okay, I put it on and assessment.
Okay, so a couple of things about assessments. Testing will continue. We want you to know that Texas Education Agency and the commissioner, they are all guiding our school districts across Texas. And for right now, they have said that we are still going to be taking the STAR assessment. It's the state test, but please know that the only grades that take it is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But we did hear just recently on the news from Texas Education Agency that 5th grade, the STAR will not be used as a promotion. So, but all the other testing will remain the same. We want to see where the children are at the beginning of the year. And then we also want to be able to see how they're progressing at the middle of the year and at the end of the year. What is the next slide, Ms.
We're on
Vicente?
grading category. The grading category weights will be determined by the campus.
Okay, and I was just going to say something about grades. I know that in the spring, because it was a total shock, this whole pandemic, and we had to go into a lockdown, that we were, in the spring, we were taking the child's, the remainder of the year would not penalize the child's grade. But what we do want everyone to know is that grades will be taken now, and there will be a minimum of 2 grades per week. And progress reports will be sent out to parents so that they are aware of how their child is progressing. The next one, Ms. Vicente.
We're on attendance, ma'am.
So attendance, I know that you're looking at this graph and you're saying, wow, it looks so complicated, but there's actually 2 questions. How are we going to make sure that the child gets counted present? So first of all, the child has to turn in their assignments on Hub. And looking at this graph, do you mind going to the next slide, Ms. Vicente? It's got the 2 questions on there.
Yes, it does.
There are several ways that a child can be counted present. One, if the child submits work on the Hub, they get counted question. So that's the first question. Was the assignment turned in on the Hub on that day? If the assignment was turned in, the child was present. Let's say that the assignment wasn't turned in, but the child did communicate with the teacher during the Teams meeting when the teacher was doing direct instruction. Great, they're going to be counted present. And then the other thing is if the child did not participate with the teacher and they did not turn in their homework assignment, the student has until 11:59 to demonstrate engagement for the minimum number of minutes. So if the child was working on Renaissance 360 for quite some time, there's a certain number of minutes that if, as long as the child has been engaged, that they will be counted present. It is very important that our students do demonstrate some form of connection with the teacher, that they are attempting to do their assignment and that they're attempting to be present. We're very, we're going to be very flexible in working with our parents with that. The other thing is dress code. At Lantrip Elementary, we all have our green Lantrip shirts and our white Lantrip shirts. But because of this pandemic, some of our families are having a difficult time. And so HISD, not just Lantrip, but HISD is relaxing the uniform requirements so that this will hopefully help out our families that are having financial difficulty at this time. Now, the question did arise, what if my child does have the school uniform shirts? Can he or she still wear them? Yes, absolutely. You are more than welcome to wear them. But students will be expected, and I want to make this clear, that they will be expected to follow the dress code specific to each individual campus. Okay?
Okay, we're on HIC, no cost summary.
I'm going to go on to, hold on, we have someone whose mic is on.
I'm sorry, someone
Second?
just joined the meeting that has a mic on. Could you turn that off, please? Mute it. Thank you. Ms. Strickland, do you see the HIC no cost summer meals?
No, I don't see that. Oh, there it is. Yes. So a couple of things that I want to share with you. In HISD has had the opportunity to provide free breakfast and free lunch for our students. So HISD is going to continue with summer meals. There will be sites that are going to be continuing to give food to our students, and it's going to go on through Monday, August 31st. And so there are several locations. Feel free to please go on to HISD portal so that you can find the locations of where they are still continuing to give free summer meals. A couple of places, I know that often a lot of parents say, well, I have questions that are specific to me. Other parents might not have this question, but I have a question specific to me. So we always want to make sure that you are welcome to communicate with us at LandTrip. We want to answer all your questions that are specific to you. A couple of things that we do want everyone to know. HISD is requiring that if I, as a parent, don't feel comfortable with my child going to the school because I'm worried about the COVID or whatever it may be for safety, the parent wants to choose virtual instruction, the parent will have to do an online introductory course so that mom or dad or grandma will know exactly what the child is working on. You can always book an appointment. As stated earlier, because of the COVID pandemic, we are not doing face-to-face meetings. We are doing everything on this platform here, our Microsoft Teams. We're all having meetings in this format. We have the HISD service. Yes.
Ms. Strickland, I'm sorry. I just want to share with the parents one more time that once they choose an option, so if they choose the 6 weeks at home, then they must keep the children 6 weeks at home. But if they choose to send them, then they can send them. But it has to be, if you choose the 6 weeks to stay at home, and then after the second week you say, I want to send them, it's not that bad, you're not going to be able to do that as a parent. Okay?
Yes, they have to stick for the 6 weeks. Yes, ma'am. Also, often I have parents that'll say, well, I want to know more about this. I have more questions about how it's going to look. I have more questions. Please know that on our HoustonISD.org/reopening, we have all the information as any questions that you may have that are more specific to you of how we're planning to try to be as safe as possible. We do have a question and answer session. There were some questions that were emailed to me, and if you don't mind, I'd like to go ahead and share them with you, and then we're going to open it up. Again, I want to say if you could please click on the icon to raise your hand so that we can call on you and you can ask your question. Let me go through some of these questions that had already been sent to us here at LandTrip. The first one, Ms. Vicente, do you want to read the first one?
Yes. Laptops for new students, curbside pickup schedule for the week of August 10th, 2020. So curbside pickup. Will the schedule be a regular school time? We're on
asynchronous.
We're on
plan.
an asynchronous
And
plan. Teachers will deliver live lessons and assign tasks at the scheduled periods in the day, but it is up to the students to access the content throughout the day.
Okay, and then some of the other questions that were asked of us, do you want to click on the next one?
Yes. What if I'm not comfortable sending my student after the 6 weeks? Every parent will make the choice when the calls start going on August 24th. At each 6-week period, the parent can opt in or out. Will the teacher make themselves more readily available to students for questions and assistance with platform and assignments? The HISD expectation is that for all teachers to have office hours during which students and parents can reach out with any questions or concerns. Another question that was submitted via form, are students going to use masks at all times? The requirement is for all persons to wear a face mask when entering any HISD building. If any children were to attend school face-to-face, what would school be like? For example, shorter classes. If and when we return face-to-face classes, the schedule will be the same as any other school year, and students will follow their class schedule throughout the school day from 7:30 to 3 p.m. And then, of course, we have the resources, HISD reopening plan documents to refer back to. And then we also have our communities and schools, Ms. Kay Pereira. And this year we do have wraparound services. And our new member of the Lantrip family is Ms. Elizabeth Garza, and she will also be assisting with that. Those were questions that were submitted before, Ms. Strickland. And then, of course, the Lantrip communication that we're going to be sharing for all parents.
And what I wanted to share, there was one more question that was emailed to me about school supplies, and we're notifying all parents and guardians that at this time we're requesting, if you want to purchase just the basics like pencil, paper, and crayon, go ahead and do so, but we will be providing a more specific. There are certain teachers that want to give supplies that are more specific to their grade level. There will be a day and a time that we will be notifying our parents via an call, an email, Facebook, saying, hey, on this day at this time, if you're in first grade, please come by the Circle Drive and pick up XYZ for your first grader. So all that is still yet to come. Okay, so I think we should get to some of our questions, Ms. Vicente. If we see some hands that are raised, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions.
Yes, we had a question with regard to the laptop. This is Mr. Meckler.
Hi, Mr. Meckler. Good morning.
Good morning. Our daughter is entering as a kindergarten student, and we do have technology at home. Is there specific items on the laptop that would be better for her to pick up from an HISD, or should we use the technology at home?
If you have a technology at home, it will work just fine. You don't have to get one from HISD. Like I said, we will be asking parents to take that online course. It's just a very generic course to kind of educate our parents and guardians on what it'll look like. It's called the HISD at home. And no, you don't have to get one from HISD. If you have your own, you're good to go, Mr. Meckler.
So at the moment, will we receive any further communication with regard to, because we're new to Lantrip, she's a kindergarten student, and this is obviously very awkward to have her start off this way, but is there any other specific communication we'll know, like which teachers, because at the moment, I don't know which teacher she should enroll in their class, and I'm assuming that will be given to us by someone to our email directly, or do we have to contact you all?
No. So first of all, Mr. Meckler, yay, congratulations. Welcome to our Lantrip family. Not just because we work here and it's our family, but we're so happy to have you. Yes, Mr. Meckler, there is something called a meet and greet, which it's a day that we're going to have. And if you have a paper and pencil, you're welcome to write Thursday, September 3rd. We're having meet and greet, and you get to meet your teacher. It's from 2 to 3 p.m. and they're going to walk you through everything and anything you need to know. They're going to introduce themselves, and they'll walk you through everything. So happy to have you meet and greet. Now, after that, once we start virtual school, on Wednesday, September 23rd, we're going to have something called Open House. Again, all this is virtually because, yes, we are in a pandemic. And so it is going to be from 2 to 3 on Wednesday, September 23rd. So, yes, so we're so happy to have you and your child. And yes, we will definitely walk you through it. I think the biggest thing that I catch myself talking to everyone is the unknown, right? The fear of the unknown. Well, how's this going to work? How's that going to work? Well, believe it or not, we're all going through this together because we've never been through a pandemic before. So there is strength in unity. There is strength in us helping each other out. When we're done today with all of our answers and questions session, we do have our school counselor, Ms. Barrera, who is going to do something called a closure and a reflection for all of us. That's going to help us to please make sure, Mr. Melcher, we are a family, and you know, it's unprecedented times, and so please know, no question is, please don't feel like, well, I can't ask that question, or to ask us questions. We're here to help each other, and if it's going to help us all sleep better at night, you know, please ask the questions. It's very, very important. So, Mr. Melcher, welcome, sir. We're happy to have you. And yes, we will definitely reach out to you. In fact, just FYI, I am writing your names down. You can always reach me via email as well, and I can contact you back. Thank you, Mr. Melcher.
We have a question for Ms. Luviano. Ms. Luviano, you have your hand up?
Oh, yes. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, she's going into 3rd grade. We've been there since 1st grade. But I have 2 going into pre-K. And we were having, I know that laptops are being provided. Will hotspots be provided? I received a call a few weeks ago, and I wasn't thinking, but one laptop we have okay, you know, Wi-Fi, but then I feel like I'm in school and the 2 little ones, and then then the 3rd grader, I don't know if my Wi-Fi will hold up with 4 laptops for streaming on it.
Okay.
Sure.
Will HISD or Lantrip be providing hotspots?
Yes, ma'am. That is a great question, and the answer is yes. I'm so glad to hear that somebody called you. Currently, we have about six employees, HISD employees from Lantrip, that are making phone calls to our parents, and they're calling to ask, number one, first and foremost, how are you? How is everyone in the family? And then number 2 is, do you have a laptop, or will your child be needing a laptop? And then number 3, do you have internet? And if not, then we can write down that you'll be needing a hotspot. And like I said earlier, HISD will be also calling back later on in August to see if you want to choose to do virtually or if you choose to do face-to-face, but it's after our virtual 6 weeks virtual. Yes. So Ms. Luviano, your answer is yes.
And Ms. Luviano, can you email me and I can get that ordered for you?
Okay, will do, Ms. Vicente. I'll go ahead and do that as soon as we're off of this Teams meeting.
And that way I can write them down. And just
Okay.
put there are 2 pre-cares, you said, correct?
Yes, they actually just received I just accepted the seat this morning when I got the notification.
Not a problem.
So, and I just didn't stop to think whenever they had called me a few weeks ago, but yes, it's 2 pre-Kers and a 3rd grader.
Okay, so you'll need 3 hotspots?
That is a very good question. Honestly, I think maybe one hotspot, and then because we already have one. So
Okay.
yeah, so I think that'll be sufficient. I don't want to take away, you know, from other students that might need it. So I think maybe one hotspot will be fine.
Just email me at mvicente at Houston ISD, and Vicente at Houston ISD, and I'll get that ordered for you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll go ahead and
And
do that.
include your children's names, please.
Will do, thank you.
Thank you. And then we have another question from Sarah Hamilton.
Okay,
Hamilton?
good morning.
Hi, good morning. We are also new to Landtrip. I have two kids.
Yay!
We were actually in China for the past 2 years, and so they're coming in first and third grade. So I'm a little concerned about the testing and stuff because they have never been in school in America. So this is kind of a weird way to introduce them to school here. So I was mostly interested in how we book like an appointment to just kind of, I'm a teacher myself, but I teach in private school. So we just are not familiar at all with how public school works. I saw that there was an opportunity to book a one-on-one and just like maybe like principal, teacher, and counselor, just kind of getting them acclimated. But I didn't see like if it's an online booking process, or do I just email you, or how do we go about setting that up?
Sure. If you email us, Miss Hamilton, we will be more than happy to make an appointment with you.
Okay. And then you said they would call about the registering for either online or in person. I'm really awful at phone calls. Is there gonna be a online thing, or is it I need to like watch out for a phone call because I'm so bad? Like it'll
No, we can walk you. Yeah, Miss Hamilton, we can walk you through it. Just send us an email and we're gonna call you back and we can walk you through the whole thing. It's so much better to have like a body and a person to talk to because things happen, questions happen, and it's always better to have a face, of course, face to face. But we can walk you through it. That will not be a problem. We're so happy to have you. Welcome back.
Welcome to Landtrip.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome to Landtrip. We're happy to have you.
Thanks again.
So do you have our email, Miss Vicente, maybe on the PowerPoint, can you show our email addresses?
I can go back to it.
Yeah, I think I wrote them down before, but I'll.
Okay, you did. Okay.
And Miss Hamilton, you said you're a teacher yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What grade?
I teach kindergarten at the Fay School.
Awesome. Well, ma'am, thank you for all you do. I know that it's also a very stressful time for our educators, and thank you for choosing that profession.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Any hand raising? Let's see.
I didn't see any others, but maybe somebody has a question they'd like to share.
I have a question.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, yes, what is the name?
This is Erica King. Can you hear me?
Erica King. Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. It's a little, okay.
Better? Is that better?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Okay. Actually, someone brought up that the parents will, whether they want in person or online instruction. And if you choose to keep them online, then you cannot go back to bringing them in person. Is the reverse true? So if I send to school, is there a way that I have to say, we want to keep them home now? Do the parents have a choice that way?
Yes, ma'am. That's a great question. And the answer is yes, every 6 weeks.
So they would have to stay the whole 6 weeks. The delay.
Oh yeah, no, not a problem. Yes, ma'am. Unless, and I want to share something that I tell everyone. Every situation is different. We have some children with multiple health problems, and please know every decision we make, we have to be very specific to safety being first. Safety is always first. I have students that have multiple not necessarily just disabilities, but health concerns that we have to take safety of a child first. So the answer to that, Ms. King, to answer your question, the answer is yes. You as a parent will have an option to choose one or the other and then change your mind later on. And then the big thing right now is every 6 weeks, but things happen. Like Ms. King, there are things that there's always, every situation is unique and different. But yes, the answer to your question is yes, ma'am. Hello, Ms. King?
Thank you.
I think her microphone.
Yes.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you. Stay safe.
Yes, hello?
Next, any other hand raised?
Hello?
Yes,
Hi,
we can hear
yes.
you.
My name is Miss Cedric Fowler. My daughter is actually being transferred to y'all into the magnet program, yet she has not been registered because of COVID. So how in the world do I register her? And how in the world is that going to work? Because I technically stay on the Star of Hope campus in New Hope housing, and most likely might want her to go to school. So how would that work out since I'm actually on the same campus as Star of Hope Reed Road?
Okay, so first of all, I want to say, Mr. Cedric Fowler, welcome. Welcome to
Welcome to
Landtrip. We're
Landtrip.
happy to have you. Yes, and I was going to say, do you have access to an email that you can email myself or Ms. Vicente? We will have, similar to what I told the other dad, as long as we know that you need assistance with registration, that we can walk you through it, kind of like, walk you through the steps and what to do. So if you will email us, sir, we will be more than happy to help you with that.
Okay.
But we're happy to have you, Mr. Fowler. And as I said earlier, we do the entire district HISD, because we are in this pandemic, the entire district is going to start virtually for the first 6 weeks. And then you as a parent get a right to choose if you want them to go face-to-face or if you want them to continue virtually. And then we will give you all the information for the meet and greet and the open house.
Mr. Fowler, you had a question?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to ask, because since my daughter is in the magnet program, she gets to get dropped off, not in district. So I'm trying to ask, since I stay on the Star of Hope campus, will she be dropped off at the Star of Hope campus? Because I actually stay on the Star of Hope campus.
Oh, so you're asking about transportation?
Yes, when it actually, if they
She
do
is
decide.
homeless at this time.
No, I actually, my apartments, I have an apartment, but our apartments are on the same site as Star of Hope.
Yes.
The apartment, like
Yes.
Star of Hope shelter is across the way, and our apartments are across on the same side. And I see other kids get picked up from here. So I was wondering how that would work, because I know other kids from other districts get picked up from here.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Or other schools.
Yes, our transportation. Yes, we can work. Miss Akhtar, who is our magnet coordinator, can work with you and talking to the transportation department to make sure that your child, if there's a school nearby, that's how they work that out. Yeah, we can work with you on that, Mr. Fowler.
One more. My daughter is also in 504, and I know we're going to do the laptop. So how is that going to work? Because before COVID, she was actually getting tested for 504 special ed, but they couldn't finish the testing because of COVID.
Okay.
So how we in? She definitely at times has difficulty in school, is more hands-on, so it's going to be somewhat difficult for her to get used to that.
Yeah.
So,
will
Mr.
there
Fowler,
be a chance for her to do the testing? Because I know as of right now, she's just in basic 504, and when they did the testing for that, she was below average on all of it. So they were finna put her in special ed, but they never got a chance to do the 504 special ed because it never, like, COVID happened.
Mr. Fowler, can you do me a favor and email me that? Do you have email? My email?
Yes, ma'am.
mvicente@Houston ISD, and just state all of what you're sharing with us today. And
Okay.
I will get back with you immediately, because we do have to make a connection with that school and see how far testing, whether they started the testing, whether they just initiated it, so we can continue with whatever she needs at our campus. Okay?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Thank you for sharing that. And then
What-
we can also respond to any bus transportation issue at that time too.
Okay, so let me, I'm best to do that real quick. Let me see. I'm getting to my email. I'm gonna need you to spell it out as soon as I get there.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen again.
Okay,
Are you not on the screen? It's just simple,
the-
M as in Mary, and then
okay,
the name Vicente, Vicente, at HoustonISD.org. It's also on the Lantrip website, sir, in case you can.
okay.
Okay,
HoustonISD.org. Okay, I have it. I'm about to do it now. Thank you.
thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
We're happy to have you, Mr. Fowler.
Thank you
Glad
for
to be
joining our
here. Thank
family.
you.
Hi, I have a question.
Sure.
Hi, I'm wondering if we opt out, I have a daughter who's entering kindergarten too. This will be her first year in school.
Hi, ma'am.
If-
Can you give me your name, please?
Clarissa Ayala. My daughter is Alice Ayala. She
Hi, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you. If we opt out to do the first semester, like you said, until January 29th, does that mean that the mask requirements might be different at that time? Or do you guys just plan to update the mask requirements when the state does? Yeah.
That's a very good question, Ms. Ayala. Everything that HISD does, we have to follow the CDC and state and federal compliance. So if they mandate something, you know, like we have to follow the rules and the law, right? So
Yeah.
yes, ma'am, the question to that is yes. And that's why when we go face to face, children have to wear masks. And I did have a parent who says, well, you know, is it okay if they move it? Is it okay if they remove it? Like the safety of our family is very important. And you know, this is mandatory. Like this is a matter of life and death, and people, you know, it's a matter of people becoming ill or not. So yes, ma'am, we will be definitely following everything that CDC, the CDC guidelines and the state and federal guidelines. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the meet
And you know,
will that be in person? Or that will
no,
be
ma'am, it's going to be
here?
virtual.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Miss Ayala, yeah, and you know what, Miss Ayala, what we're doing right now here, this same platform, this is what we're going to use for our meet and greet. We're going to start all together, and then, you know, just as a big welcome, and then we're going to fan you to a different channel so that you can go to your child's teacher, and then your child's teacher will walk you through and direct you on everything and any questions that you may have.
Okay. Kind of like the breakout rooms on Zoom.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Welcome to Lantrip.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Ayala.
Hi, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Hi, what is your name? Yes,
My
ma'am.
name is Leticia Jaimes. I'm Adan Jaimes' mother, and he's going to third grade. My question is, I know this is a new semester, new material that teachers are going to be teaching. Is there going to be videos of teachers teaching? I know at the end of the school year, it was just like an assignments would be sent out for them to complete throughout the week. But I know it was mostly review. This time around, are they actually going to have like live videos of them teaching the material?
Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
great question, Ms. Jaimes. Yes, the answer is yes, they have to have live instruction. And then in order for the child to complete the assignment, they have like the remainder of the day to submit it before 11:59.
Okay, thank you. And then another thing, are we going to have access to the PowerPoint just so we can go back and refresh things that I probably missed?
Sure, yeah, Ms. Jaimes, what I can do is I can upload it to the school website.
Okay, sounds good.
And it also, we're
Thank you,
recording
ma'am.
this. We're also recording this, so it'll be available to go back
Okay,
and review.
thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jaimes. Stay safe.
Hello.
Good morning, Ms. Strickland.
Hi, good morning. Who's
Hello?
this? Hi.
I think I don't know if
Morning.
there's two of us. Good morning. This is I'm a new parent to Lantrip. I have a first grader and a fourth grader.
Okay,
Okay,
what
she's
is
new
your
to
name?
Lantrip. She's saying she's new to Lantrip and she has a first grader and a fourth grader. Welcome to
This is
Lantrip.
Miss De La Rosa. This is Mr. Herrera's secretary down the way at Baylor Russ.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
welcome to Lantrip.
Welcome to Lantrip, Miss De La Rosa.
I'm so excited. I was referred to by one of our other great parents and workers that we have. My question is, I know that you said that there's going to be the in-person, the Meet the Teacher, that September 3rd date from 2 to 3. How are they going to do it, I guess,
Yes.
if you have two different grade level students?
So what we can do, I have some parents that have 3 or 4 children, and we'll have to have the teacher. Everything that we're doing now is recorded, so you can go to one teacher, and then the other teacher's presentations are recorded. You can watch them at your house at your convenience.
Oh, okay.
And then
Thank you.
the teachers' emails will all be there. In case you have any questions, you're welcome to send them.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Welcome to Lantrip.
Welcome, De La Rosa.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions? I don't see any hand raised.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
This is Sarah Arvidsson. I'm
Oh, yes,
Flora.
I can see your hand up. Huh?
Thank you
Hi,
so
Ms.
much
Arvidsson.
for this meeting. It's been really helpful. I noticed on the slide there was some information about a subscription to a Lantrip weekly email. Do you have any information on how to subscribe to that?
Yes, ma'am. As when you have your meet and greet with your teacher, they're going to walk you through how to also connect to something called Class Dojo.
Okay.
Class Dojo is a tool that teachers use to send, quick. It's a text. You'll be getting texts from teachers. They give you information. Hey, don't forget, we're going to do the science fair coming up. Blah blah blah. Or hey, there is science night coming up. Blah blah blah. Or also, some teachers will take pictures of your children and say, hey, Miss Arvidsson, here is a picture of your child. She's working on so-and-so. Your child's doing so much better at blah, 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 or whatever it may be. So one of the tools that we use is Class Dojo. And yes, ma'am, that information will definitely be sent to you. But one of the things that we're trying to do at Lantrip as our communication tool is we have everything posted on our school website, on our Twitter, on our Facebook, any form of media, social media, communication tool. We are trying to put as much information on there so people are made aware of all the happenings at Lantrip.
Okay. Thank you so much, and thank you for all you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you, and stay safe, ma'am. Any other questions, anybody?
I have a question.
I have a question. Oh,
Can one of you first and then the next one?
Yes, I wasn't sure how to raise the hand on the
Okay.
Oh, that's a
app. So I don't know. Am I on? It's
Yes.
Araceli Gutierrez.
Yes, ma'am, you are. What is your name?
Gutierrez,
Okay.
you're on.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions actually. I know August 24th, there's going to be a phone call to determine if you want your child to go back in person. I'm assuming for after October, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how are we supposed to basically make that choice come August 24th if we don't know what the virus is going to look like in October? So how are we going to be able to say, well, I want my child to go back in person if we're talking about like 2 months out?
Yes. Yes.
And so do we have to make a choice come August 24th or?
You know what, Ms. Gutierrez, that's a wonderful question. This is a conversation that I had with another parent in reference to.
I'm sorry. I cannot hear you because I think someone else might not be muted, so I could not hear you.
Give me 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. I'm sorry. Yes. Can you repeat that,
Perfect.
please?
Yeah, I muted everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so Ms. Gutierrez, that is a very good question that you asked. There is a lot of uncertainty about this pandemic that we're in. And I think that's, as I stated earlier with another parent, that is the fear of the unknown, I guess. We are going to set many, many things, plan for many, many things, but we have to plan for option A, option B, option C, because you're right. We don't know. Tomorrow, the governor of Texas might just say, nope, we're pushing school back another, another month. Or, our COVID-19 rates are too high. And so we have to be very flexible and fluid. And so for right now, I guess my response to you is we'll have parents make a decision on that day. And then as things happen, that's why I had shared with the parent. I told the other parent, every situation is different. If there's two things that I'm going to ask everybody to help us do is one, stay positive, and two, stay flexible. Because the information that I'm giving right now, tomorrow, the governor can say something and everything I said, we just gets pushed back or it might change. So yeah,
Okay.
you're right, Ms. Gutierrez.
Okay,
That
and
question is
so
definitely
my
a
next
very
question
good question.
is, I know you mentioned about in the beginning there being like a 20-minute or so of instructional time, and then the kids are
Yes.
basically gonna be on their own to do their work, through the
Yes.
hub until 11:59. But for working parents, I don't think that the 20 minutes is sufficient because the last 6 weeks, I mean, we were doing lives through Team for about maybe 30 minutes. But there was questions in between, and we're talking about multiple subjects. I mean, math, science, and then we have, what do you call it? Music and all those types of classes. So why can't there be more of instructional time? Because I have 4 children, so I work. I will not be home with my child to kind of help her. She would have to wait basically for me to get home. And then we'll be left with very small amount of time to kind of like help. And by that time, after 5 o'clock, I'm pretty sure that the teacher will not be available. And I think it's very important, the instructional time to be expanded more than the 20 minutes or the 30 minutes that was done the last 6 weeks. It just was not sufficient at all. The kids need to be, they need to interact with their teacher as much as possible, not be given 20 minutes and basically be left alone the rest of the day to kind of like figure it out. You understand what I'm saying? So will that be something that I can discuss with the teacher and maybe she will be flexible on, or is it just that's what it is, period?
So to clarify on that question, Ms. Gutierrez, it is 20 to 30 minutes per subject. So it'll be 20 to 30 minutes for reading, 20 to 30 minutes for math, 20 to 30 minutes for science, 20 to 30 minutes for, so it's per subject. So I just wanted to clarify that for you.
Okay. I didn't understand that in the beginning. I just heard 20, 30 minutes.
Yes.
Now, will there be like a certain times that this happens or just?
Yes, there is going to be a schedule. We're going to be passing that out as we get more information from our academic department. Those schedules will be sent out, and it'll be a full day. Don't worry, there will definitely be a full day for that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So I have 2 more questions. So I know you mentioned about you guys were going to do a beginning of the year, I guess like evaluation. How are you guys going to do that virtually?
You mean beginning of the year, some kind of assessment for reading?
Yes.
Yes. So let me share with you something that we do, and this is every elementary school, I would assume, is that we have something called a reading running record. And what that does is the teacher will sit at a table in what we call a kidney table, because she's sitting on one side and she's got 2 or 3 students that are at the same reading level. And she will test each of the children to get immediate feedback for reading. We can do that via Teams as well. And that is what HISD's academic department is working on, how to be able to find time. So let's say your child's name is Mary. I'm just putting a scenario out there, that the teacher, Mrs. Strickland, will be reaching out to Mary just like this and saying, okay, Mary, I'm putting something up. I want you to read this to me, Mary. And depending on how Mary responds in her reading, I am tallying and documenting the level of complexity or what she finds difficult or how easy it is for her or so forth. All that is called keeping a running record of how she's reading. So this is done virtually. Now later on, this is the first 6 weeks. After the first 6 weeks, if you want your child to come to school, then that's different. The teacher will have to practice social distancing in the classroom. But
Okay.
yes, all children will be tested. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, because I know when we did the teams meeting the last 6 weeks of the school year last year, because my child is GT, and I don't know if you remember having the conversation and the questions about the GT students, since the last 6 weeks it was obviously very different. And I had a concern with her staying with the GT program and being educated in her level. And now that we're starting off virtually, now it's a bigger concern because although I do try to work with her at home, I have 4 children, I'm a full-time working mother, and it becomes very challenging for me to teach her. I'm not a teacher, so I cannot teach her GT materials. And so that is a very big concern to me because I don't want her to end up being delayed in her education. Right. And so I don't know if there's someone else. I know I've signed up through other programs outside of the district to learn more about GT, and I've done webinars and all that stuff. But, I do depend on Landtrip to teach my child based on her level. And so I guess, I don't know, can we make sure, I guess, that she is being taught at her level and not giving the basic bare minimum because it's the easiest to do, I guess, meeting the HIZ standard, education or whatnot. So I don't know how to go about that. Should I reach that out to her teacher or, because...
Yes. I was going to say, Ms. Gutierrez, the best person that you can definitely share. I mean, number one, thank you so much for sharing this information with us. But the best person who can definitely guide you through that would be her personal teacher. And because there's a lot, HISD has a plethora of things that we can do to be able to help her and meet her where she's at and then stretch her from there. So there's a lot of things that we can do. So yes, ma'am.
So I'll get with her teacher, and then just last
so
question.
I was going to say, Ms. Gutierrez.
Yes.
Yeah, just real quick. Can I just continue?
Yes.
Let me just say a little bit more. So at the meet and greet, you can meet the teacher. They're going to share with you all the information. At the meet and greet, I would say whoever the teacher is, let's say it's Ms. Strickland. I'm just giving a scenario. Ms. Strickland, I'm Ms. Gutierrez. I'd like to set an appointment with you. I want to talk about my child. Okay. Sure, let's set a date and a time, and then that way the rest of the world doesn't have to. I mean, this is between you and the teacher and your child. Right. And that way you're getting the one-on-one attention so that you can find out what's in the best need for your child. Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the next question?
Yeah, the last one was emails. So my daughter has been attending Landtrip for a couple years, and I have yet to receive one email through junk. So who do I need to email to make sure that my email is in the system and that you guys put it in there, because I don't want to miss any information, especially during this time, especially. So who can I reach out so I can say, hey, can you please make sure that, or do you guys send emails at all, or? Yeah. I would assume so.
So there's a lot of different ways that we communicate. Can I ask you one quick question before I answer your question?
Yes.
Do you get the all calls that we make?
I do get the calls. Yes. Yes, but I have to make sure I answer. If I don't, the voicemail will not come through for some odd reason.
Okay. So yes, ma'am, any and all data is always put on our school website, on Facebook, on Twitter. The text messages that parents get, they get them from their teachers via Class Dojo. So that's why I always say the very, very first contact is always the teacher. But everything else, yes, ma'am, we do all calls. Everything and anything is put on our school website.
Okay, so no emails though, right? You're not sending emails?
Not an email to parents right now. No, ma'am. It's
Okay.
just been all calls and posting it on the school website and Class Dojo and Twitter.
Okay, well, thank you so much for all that information.
Thank you.
Yes, Ms. Gutierrez, and we look forward to seeing y'all. Thank you. Be safe.
You too.
I have a question.
Hi, who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Crystal Mayer. Miss Mayer.
Morning.
Hi, Miss Mayer.
Morning. I just have a question. My daughter will start pre-K 3. As far as the computers being handed out, obviously she doesn't know how to handle a computer. Will she get like an iPad to touch or?
Yes, ma'am. The lower grade students tend to get iPads, and then the upper grade students get Chromebooks.
And then would she be expected
Yes,
to
and
do-
that's something that the teacher, yeah, the teacher will guide them through what to push, where to, how to turn it on, how to turn it off. And yes, ma'am, they'll get guidance with that from the teacher.
And is she doing 20 minutes in each subject? Because that's a lot for her.
Yes, it is a lot. It is a lot. It's different for pre-K and kinder. It's definitely not the same 20 to 30 minutes per subject. It's less than that. And the teachers in pre-K and K are actually getting training now in the summer, so that when they get to the meet and greet, the parents will walk you through what the schedule will look like.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, and welcome, Miss. Is it Miss Munoz? No, Miss Mayer. Welcome, Miss Mayer.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Yes, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What is your name?
My name is Damry Munoz.
Can you say the first name, ma'am?
Damry.
Okay. Hi, ma'am. How can we help you?
You had a question about the website that they're going to be turning in the assignments. There going to be any link or information you're going to be giving out to us for us to be turning the work in there?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. That is a wonderful question. Yes, over the summer, HISD put out HISD at home. And that is the reason why we want all parents to do an online course to educate parents on what does it look like, what is it called, where do you go, where do the kids turn in their homework, how do the kids get there, all the little step-by-steps that parents need to know. It is on that online parent course. In fact, right now, if you go to the HISD portal under reopening, it'll walk you through all that of what's expected. But not only that, Ms. Munoz, but we'll be sending that to you as well. And when the teachers have the meet and greet, the teachers will be sharing that information with you as well.
Yes, because we were having issues at the beginning with that. Like, they were telling us that the students should know their password and their username, but some of the kids don't remember it. And I was having issues trying to log into the first website that had gave us to in the beginning.
And you know what, Ms. Munoz, in the spring, when we immediately went to virtual, we never got training on it. We just jumped right in and hey, we're going to do whatever it takes to help our kids continue learning. But this is the reason why we're all getting trainings over the summer. And then the other thing now in the fall that we also have at Lantrip, we hired a technology specialist that's also going to be able to help us so that parents don't have to call HISD. You're getting assistance from Lantrip. So yes, ma'am, we have a new technology specialist to be able to help us. Over the summer, we had two wonderful employees that were helping us, the magnet coordinator, Ms. Akhtar, and our instructional coordinator, Ms. Barajas. They were helping us, with the technical support. Hey, this isn't working, or hey, I can't, log into here, or this doesn't work, or whatever it is. They call it troubleshooting. They were doing a lot of that. So I'm happy to say that Lantrip is hiring a technology specialist only specific to our children and our parents.
Okay, and now they're also going to have help on their homework in case they don't understand certain things on it?
Yes, ma'am. So the beauty in the live lesson is that it's recorded. And so one, there is a certain time period that teachers are going to have what we call an open office time. Excuse me. And so you can just say, oh, okay, Ms. Strickland's available from this time to this time. Let me, send her a message so she and I can have the meeting like we are having right now.
Okay. Okay, that'll be
Does
up.
that make
Thank you.
sense?
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Ms. Munoz, and be safe. I now have 11:15. I just want to let everybody know we do have a Spanish version at 11:30, so we have about 15 more minutes before we go to our next meeting. Are there any other questions anybody has?
I have a question.
Hi, what is your name?
My name is Stephanie Moreno.
Hi, Ms. Moreno, how may I help you?
When did you say was the meet and greet with the teachers?
Yes, ma'am. It's going to be Thursday, September 3rd from 2 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
And you will get as much information as you can on that day.
Perfect. Okay.
And can I just say, Ms. Moreno, that's where we are right now. Like, knock on wood, but if something happens and this COVID percentage and they move schools back or something, like, for right now, this is what we're planning.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Ms. Strickland.
Thank you. Be safe.
You too.
Any other questions anybody may have? Ms. Vicente, are there any more hands that are raised?
I don't see any more hands raised. I'm checking the chat now just to see if anybody posted a question, but no one has posted a question. I believe that's it.
All right. So Ms. Barrera, are you on? Are you on?
Yes, I am. Hello, everyone.
Hi, hold on, Ms. Barrera. Was that you that said Ms. Strickland, or was it another parent?
It was me. It was Miss De La Rosa again. I don't know if, because earlier I was trying to write in the chat, but it said I needed another person. So just in case parents in your other meeting may have that issue, it didn't let me raise my hand. I know normally that it does, like in our regular faculty meetings, but that may be an issue for your later meeting.
Oh, thank you so much, Ms. De La Rosa. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
This technology, it has a mind of its own sometimes.
It does. That's why there may not be nothing in the chat, because me and Miss Jimenez were both trying to type in there, but it didn't do anything.
Okay, well, thank you for letting us know.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. De La Rosa.
Do we have any other parents that have a question?
I have one more. It's Araceli Gutierrez. Can the hotspot be shared within like with more than one student at home? Because I have 3 that are obviously on the internet, but can they share the one hotspot or no?
That's a good question. I'm not sure, but we can find out for you.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. I was just wondering.
Hotspot be shared. Okay. And then Ms. Gutierrez, you're not able to type in the chat, right?
Yes. No, I was not able to type on the chat nor raise my hand either.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Gutierrez, can you do me a favor? Can you send me an email of this either to myself or Ms. Vicente?
Yes,
and we will let you know the answer, okay? That's a great question.
Thank you.
I see a hand raised for Lola Gonzalez. Are you available, Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, I just have a quick question. I missed the first few minutes of the meeting, and I just heard a parent say something about laptops and iPads. So because you guys are going to the next meeting very soon, how soon will you put this video up online so I can get more information about the laptop iPad situation?
Sure. By the end of the day today, before 5 o'clock.
Okay, great.
And Ms. Gonzalez, would you do me a favor and email me if you need a laptop?
Yes, I can do that.
Can you? It's mvicente@houstonisd.org, and I can make sure that we put your name down. just put the name of your student, and if I have to contact you, I will.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Good morning. That's everybody, right?
Someone asked a question, Mr. Glenn. Yes.
Hi, good morning. I can't raise my hand either, but I have a quick question on this is Miss Johansson, Carl Aiden Johansson's mom.
How are you?
Hi, Ms. Johansson.
Hi. On the HISD calendar, I see there's some kind of dates that are kind of, I guess, for instructional days that are separate from the kids. Are those days going to be used to help students that need certain academic assistance, or how are those dates going to be used?
Yes, ma'am, you hit it right on the nail. That is correct. But because our schedule has been moving quite a bit, they've been shifting everything back, and those dates are going to be used to provide guidance. It's kind of like a tutorials for our students that need it the most.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We'll be giving more information on that and on the dates and who all can participate.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Be safe.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, I now have 11:21. We're going to have Ms. Barrera close the meeting off for us because we do have an 11:30 in Spanish. Ms. Barrera, if you have any other questions, please email us. We are here to help and answer any questions. Go ahead, Ms. Barrera.
Hello, everyone. I'm Miss Ferreira. I help with social emotional support at LandTrip. So we at LandTrip, we value social emotional learning. We know that we are social emotional beings and we can't advance academically before addressing our emotional needs. So know that we care about you and we care about your children. And please feel free to reach out to us for any emotional needs as well. We also want to welcome those who are new and welcome back those who have been here before, and remind everyone that at LandTrip, we believe in the LandTrip way, which is to be kind, be responsible, be a leader, and be your best. So even though we're virtual, we still have it painted on the wall at LandTrip, and it's on the wall of our minds, and all of our teachers and staff live that way. We live to be kind, responsible, be a leader, and be your best. So my little closing remarks are, in this time, we choose what we hold on to, either doubt, worry, or trust or solution finding. So in this time, as you probably have some feelings, doubt leads to questions, and questions can lead to solutions. But if we hold on to worry, it brings anxiety and fear. So as some of your children can kind of have, we all have feelings. Let's choose which feelings we hold on to, which let's let our doubt lead to questions and question solutions. And with that worry and fear, let's try to decide to put aside the things we can't control. What's it going to be like in October? We don't know, right? But let's try our best to focus on the moment. And if we hold on to any negative feelings, let those doubt lead to questions, and questions to solutions. So we are here for you. We love you. We love your kids. We know that we're emotional beings. If you have any kind of concern about feelings, emotions, reach out to me. The email will be made available on our social media as well, but we're here for you. We love you. So with that, I will say thank you and welcome back to LandTrip, and welcome to LandTrip. We love you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Ms. Barrera.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, parents, we want to thank you so much for joining us today. We have 6 minutes before we begin our Spanish version. Again, we want to thank you for joining us, and y'all stay safe, wear your mask, and practice social distancing. We miss you, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you.